Hey guys, Raspberry here with another video today. We talk about Resolve, the Hell Loose killer, or at least that's what I've heard. We'll look at the good, the bad, and the ugly. Resolve is a first person shooter where you can outsmart, outplay, and outgun your enemy with real time tactics and skill across fierce frontline battles of World War II. I recently got to playtest a very early version of the game during a live stress test and was given permission to record during the playtest event. I played with some of the other content creators, my buddies Sherman, Terry Dactyl, Nano, and Red Coat Viking. In all seriousness, we had a really decent time. I do want to let you know, of course, all this footage I would consider pre alpha and not in any way will reflect the final product of the game. However, it'll give us an insight into what the game could be. The good. Resolve gunplay seems to play actually pretty decently. During the playtest, there was a major bug where the bullets, if you can call them that, they flew so slow you could almost run faster than them in some instances. My understanding is that there was a server issue rather than gameplay issue causing the slow bullets. But once we started accommodating for this, the major delay on the bullets, the guns actually felt pretty decent. The time to kill was super fast and they hit hard. Running and gunning in tight buildings seemed fun and enjoyable and really gave me that prime time Battlefield 5 feel of outflanking and outmaneuvering your enemy. I managed to rack up a few kills in the tight close quarters, and with the very quick time to kill, similar to Hell Loose, it gives you a sense of high risk, high reward gameplay when it comes to flanks. The lighting in the terrain is another great aspect to Resolve, as you can see the nanites from Unreal 5's engine really come into play here. Long distances aren't muddled by LODs like in Hell Loose, as the nanites in Unreal 5 actively maximize the look of those assets in game. The lighting off the terrain as well looks really good on Unreal 5 with the lumen, and it casts dynamic shadows on each asset as the sun actively moves across the sky in real time. Additionally, the day night cycle is a really neat aspect, and it feels like a huge passive of time truly happens while you're in battle. Notably, all of us really started to notice when day turned to dusk and the sun started casting major shadows across the desert, and then turned to night, which was lit only by player launching flares across the sky. Another good thing was the ability to pick up players' dropped guns as players perished on the battlefield. You could walk up and pick up active guns. So a Commonwealth soldier, for example, could hold an MP40 if you ran out of ammo. Speaking of ammo, you can pick up ammo off squad mates.
Oh, wait, let me get ammo.
I can't spawn on the outpost. It's not red
all I
though.
am to
Oh,
you
thanks,
is
buddy.
just an ammo bag.
Wait, you can see enemy equipment.
In the midst of battle, which is a great thing. Battlefield added this in Battlefield Hardline, and that's become a mainstay in the Battlefield franchise as well. It's always nice to have a reason to stay close to teammates and have team fights rather than being a lone soldier. Player call-ins are also available in game, like rocket strikes.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh, I hear naval weapon.
Holy
Shit! Look at it. It's going all the way across
Whoa.
the
Where
map.
did he go?
It went to
That's-
east 104.
That's really missed.
Oh, I'm seeing the rockets in the map. Oh, that's cool. It hit like nowhere.
As well as squad-based points that you gain that can be redeemed for better loadouts and better guns. The gun models also look pretty good, with some active reflective metal and a bit of dirt and grime on them. Lastly, the headshot sound, very nice. The sound of the headshot is becoming synonymous with these types of games like Hell Let Loose and Postscriptum, and it's really nice to see them return in Resolve. The bad. Remember, this is an early alpha playtest, and most of these may be updated by the time the game actually hits alpha, hits beta, or full release. This map was a bit bland. Hell Loose really sets a high bar for map design, as well as Battlefield 5 with the dynamic weather effects. The map was a bit plain, wide open areas with little to no cover, and then the building part was just a few buildings that were pretty basic, didn't have really that lived in feel that Hell Loose has. I would like to see maybe a clear base points of interest throughout the map that are really notable. Every area in the town really looked the same with no major difference or indication of where you are. And it just did not feel lived in at all. I couldn't really tell if I was in a certain area or not, or what point of the objective I was in. The sound was notably one of the things the developers indicated that was currently a placeholder. At the moment, it quite literally sounds like an old Western film.
duck, you sucker.
I'm gonna go right.
Crying out. Oh shit. Don't go forward. No. Raz, run. Oh shit, that was so close.
Audio is such an instrumental thing in games, and playing a game like World War III when it was coming out with its just unbearable audio really made me appreciate how important spatial audio and sound effects are both important to gameplay and immersion. The nighttime was pretty bad. As mentioned, there's a day-night cycle with active lighting and the lumen. However, when it got to night, it was so dark that it just didn't translate well for gameplay. The lighting was so dark to the point where I couldn't tell if my monitor was actually on or off, and people in the chat too were complaining about it. The only way you could see when it was night was by popping up a flare, and the flares, they just didn't last that long, and it was almost better once the flare ended to go ahead and respawn and just get another flare. It did cost 1 point of your squad, so it was almost detrimental to respawn, but it was better than not seeing anything at all. The movement in game is another feedback I would provide, as I think often I got stuck on lips of buildings and rocks among other random assets. There's no vaulting system in the game yet, and so that modern vaulting or maneuvering in games was just not there. I felt very limited, almost a feel of like Bad Company 2 if you were to go back to it. Additionally, there's no prone currently in the game. That game really needs to get prone in. Because the game's in early access, I would imagine modern innovations such as regular vaulting, prone, would be one of the things that in beta they would go ahead and add. And it'll definitely be added, I would imagine, as the game develops. Lastly, the out of bounds indication was very strange. There were times that I would go ahead and spawn, and I would spawn out of bounds, or I would just be running in the middle of a battle and I would just walk out of bounds. There's no indication of what is and isn't part of the map. And Battlefield, Hell Loose do a really good job of making clear indication of what is technically in bounds and what's technically out of bounds. So I would like to see that added to the game. The Ugly. Although the time to kill was fantastic, making the gunplay feel nice, the bullet travel time, apparently due to a capped CPU usage of the server, was nearly unbearable. Each gun I had a slightly different feel for the speed of its bullets. So right when I would get a new gun, the bullet travel time was so different. I couldn't tell how far I had to lead to accommodate.
Our technology that we don't have.
The bullet speed. Yeah, I see what you mean.
It's really bad.
It's so slow.
I'm firing at a wall that I'm like literally 10 meters away from, and it's taken so long for the bullets to land.
Oh shit,
Wait,
you're
I
right.
made it. I made the outpost.
Next is the minimap. The minimap was so bad. I would say probably the worst minimap in any game I've ever played, as it wasn't really a minimap. It was quite literally just a zoom out of the map you're playing on, and you could see the other players, you could see your team, and the worst part is typically if you're running in any game, you would open the map and you could see the map as a toggle. Well, in this game, the way it worked is as you click the map, it would actually zoom out all the way and would completely stop you moving. However, because your finger is still on the W key, you would go ahead and scroll up as fast as possible on the map, not being able to see what you're actually trying to look at. So it was very difficult and very cumbersome. That definitely needs to look at. Lastly, the frame rate. The frame rate was bad. I have a 3080 Ti on my computer, and I can run most games on Epic, and it was just to the point where the moment I started, each of us as well, capped at about 30 FPS. And what was weird was the longer we played, the worse the frame rate got. So we started at 30 FPS, and by the time of the playtest being over, which was only about an hour, it was down to 15 FPS on average. As you can see, the frame rate right now on screen is probably reflective of that. So going to be a huge component to make sure that's fixed, of course, for the full release, which I imagine is obviously on the developer's mind. But with Unreal 5 being a brand new engine, with them going ahead and developing this game, I'm really hoping they're able to go ahead and optimize it. I know Hella Loose really struggles with frame rate, especially on maps like Stalingrad. So it'd be interesting to see how Unreal 5 helps developers make this kind of game and how that translates to Resolve. Overall, I feel this game has honestly a ton of potential. Being a lot closer to Battlefield 5 than Hella Loose is a honestly welcome change. Battlefield 5 had some of the best gameplay of any Battlefield, so basically taking that, upping it to Unreal 5 engine, and turning it into a bit of a hardcore game is a really interesting take on the first-person shooter franchise and its marketplace. I'm really looking forward to what Resolve is going to bring to the table, and I really think we had a really great time all playing together in the playtest. I definitely think this game is probably another 2 years in development out, but I was surprised with how far it's already come, given that it was just recently announced. So here's a few clips of us playing the game. Please excuse, I had a terrible cold, so I was coughing a little bit, and I didn't realize, but the Discord was push to talk, so you might hear some push to talk. But sit back, relax, enjoy. If you like this video, be sure to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about Resolve.
Wait,
You never heard the Matt Minute?
Not with the Kar 98, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you were...
Red, stack up with me real quick. Stack up. Hang on, check this out. I got a new weapon. Nano, check this out. Wait, you want to stand away though, Nano? You don't want to get close to
Wait,
this.
you're giving me
What?
conflicting
What?
Why don't I need to stand away?
Oh! Wait, what?
Oh, so Raz survives. Oh, nah,
I,
that's it.
I am super dead.
Oh,
Are
wherever
you
you
gonna
guys
end
spawn
it
for
down in
two,
the
trap
nearby.
for me.
whoa. Who's next to
I'm
me?
coming to your body.
Red, look at 133 in the sky. Do you see that?
Yeah, the bunker it's been there for
What
ages.
the fuck?
Yeah.
There's a bunker. Wait, someone spawned it. Oh, no,
Oh,
no.
someone just
Oh,
I
I
saw
saw
that.
That's one in the sky. Oh, now I get it. Now I get it.
Man, what the fuck? That's why I
It
haven't
just
seen
randomly
people fall.
spawns you up in the sky.
No, you spawn in a bunker. There's a whole bunker like 100 feet in the
Yeah,
sky.
Raz, German. Oh! Left of the stairs.
I died.
He broke his
Established
ankle.
drop zone. Now we can deploy with parachutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
But seeing the rate of those
Here I
parachutes
come.
descend, I don't
I'm in
think I
the
want
air.
to.
Yeah.
Are you?
very
Oh, I'm seeing
slowly.
Nano. Shoot him.
No, that's the up. Why? I'm on your side.
The immersion. The immersion.
He fell in T-pose all the way down in T-pose.
Bruh.
Wait, I'm coming down too.
Here I
Oh.
am trying to squad lead and using like assets and stuff.
You never call in the artillery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all dropping down now.
Watch out!
You guys
dead.
are just
I wanna
jealous
jump.
of my white parachute.
Oh,
Okay,
wait,
this
oh
is
my
very fast.
God.
This is very fast. Oh my god, I would be so dead.
No, this is great.
Here, watch.
Very
Here, I'll hold it. Look at. See
It
how
looks
I'm holding it?
awesome. Yeah. It
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like you're half man, half torpedo.
What do I do with it?
Well,
screaming at him, bro.
I'm assuming we have to give this to a weapon, but I wish we could throw it like down the hill.
That's what I'm saying.
That would be
Shoot
so
it.
funny.
Shoot
Actually,
the
yeah,
torpedo thing.
shoot out of my hand.
Okay.
Oh no, wait. Oh no.
Oh God! You just executed him.
I shot the missile. He took a step to the left and then passed out.